when I'm in there with Shakur, you know, it's a chess match, you know, because Shakur is a thinking man as well. So it's definitely a chess match, and that's something that, you know, I love, he loves, because now we gotta be creative. You gotta go in that bag and be like, I can't do this with him because it's not gonna work. Now I gotta get more creative to get a little advantage over him, because we both competitive. Neither one of us wanna let the other one get anything off.
What's up, man? You wanna sign a contract to fight my little brother?
Everyone watched Terence Crawford storm the press conference, grab the microphone, and tell Teofimo Lopez straight up that Shakur Stevenson would break him down. To casual fans, it looked like pure confidence, the pound-for-pound king standing up for his younger brother. But people close to the situation say the real story is very different, and it has sent real shock through Shakur's entire camp.
At first glance, for me, it seemed like this was not going to be a very good fight, that it was a fight that had a real chance to be a snoozer because of the way both of these guys fight. But during my live stream, I got some information. I won't say information inside because it was on a live stream about Teofimo Lopez that I found very interesting and may make the fight a lot more exciting, because there's two things about Teofimo Lopez that Shakur Stevenson really has to worry about.
Sources say everything changed once Crawford saw leaked footage from Teofimo's private sparring sessions. Reports claim Crawford went completely quiet, staring at the screen and telling his team he had never seen Teofimo look this dangerous. While fans see a calm mentor, the truth may be that Crawford is seriously worried Shakur is walking into a trap against a version of Teofimo nobody expected. This shift did not come from social media or press talk. It happened inside the gym, far from cameras. Crawford expected to see the same wild fighter from Teofimo's recent struggles, but instead he kept replaying the footage, studying every movement in silence.
Tim Bradley said that he feels like Shakur Stevenson can hurt you. Not necessarily with power, but by frustrating you, controlling the distance, nullifying your offense, just making you look bad. He said that he feels like Shakur has superior boxing IQ compared to you.
That's cool. That's his opinion. That's cool. Everybody has an opinion like an asshole. You know? So,
I swear I wish I could be like you. I swear I wish I could be like you too.
What's that?
Just be like, they say whatever, it's fine. I'd be like, say what?
He also said don't run from Shakur.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I put on boxing shoes, not track shoes. So yeah, just I'm excited for it all.
One insider said Bud kept shaking his head, saying Teofimo's hand speed was insanely fast. This was not just about quick punches. Crawford reportedly noticed Teofimo moving like a lightweight while hitting with full welterweight power. The fear goes beyond physical tools. Crawford believes Teofimo is not training to box, he is training to destroy. After watching the tape, Crawford allegedly pulled Shakur aside and delivered a blunt warning. This guy is dangerous right now, and if we do not match that level, things could turn bad very quickly. That makes the press conference moment look different. When Teofimo confronted Shakur and tried to provoke him, Crawford stepped in and shut it down. Looking back, many believe he was not trash-talking, he was protecting Shakur.
Teofimo Lopez is a bit of an enigma when you see him in a boxing ring. He is somebody that is very, very athletic, somebody that is very, very highly skilled, but his mindset is not always as consistent as you would want it to be. And his performances are not as consistent as you would want them to be. When he fought against Vasily Lomachenko, he looked like a very tremendous fighter against Vasily Lomachenko. I think he won that fight, looked very good, all of the above. But then you see him come back against George Kambosos, and it's like a totally different fighter. He winds up getting beat by George Kambosos, goes up to 140 pounds. Then he gets a shot with Josh Taylor, who was a former undisputed champion, but really still considered the man at that division. And then he goes about completely dominating and outclassing Josh Taylor, who many people believe was a pound-for-pound top fighter. But then he comes back and he fights guys like Jermaine Ortiz, and he fights guys like Sandor Martin, and they just look like fights that he underwhelmed, and he fought to the level of his competition. So with Teofimo Lopez, that's what I always worry about. And don't worry about his talent or his skill or his ability. I always wonder whether or not what level he's going to fight at, and whether it's just going to be right about the level of the guy he's fighting. And as a result, the fight's going to be close.
Crawford understands better than anyone that when Shakur gets emotional, he becomes vulnerable. By stepping in, he was not just acting as a loyal friend. He was trying to keep Shakur calm and focused. He knows that if Teofimo pulls Shakur into a wild fight, the speed and power he saw on those tapes could end the fight early. Crawford's move was not about disrespecting Teofimo. It was about stopping Shakur from falling into the mental trap that Teofimo is setting.
I was told about the advantages that Teofimo Lopez has in this particular fight is that Teofimo Lopez, really is somebody that is unique in the fact that he likes to fight southpaws, likes to fight guys that have an opposite angle of what you usually get. And look back to the fight that he had with one of the best fight that he had in his career was with a southpaw in Vasily Lomachenko. And so you have to know that he can fight at the level of Vasily Lomachenko at the southpaw, in the southpaw stance. You have to say, okay, well, man, what is that going to mean for the Shakur Stevenson fight? Not that Shakur Stevenson and Vasily Lomachenko fight a lot at all, alike at all. They do not fight alike at all, but still the angles and the common problems that are caused by southpaws exist when you fight Vasily Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson. Also, Teofimo Lopez showed that on his big fight night that he was able to show up on his big fight night, right? So you look at the difference between the Teofimo Lopez fight with George Kambosos. He might have felt like, hey, this is a walk in the park. His ego is flying and his mind isn't really there, really not prepared for the fight, right? And same thing with the other guys that I mentioned, like Jermaine Ortiz and Sandor Martin. But when he got his opportunities, in the big opportunities, he buckled down and he focused against Josh Taylor, who, by the way, also fights out of the southpaw stance, and Vasily Lomachenko. So we'll see whether or not he's able to do that again with Shakur. The problem that Shakur has had some big fights when he's always showed up in his fights, man. Always showed up in his fights. I think Shakur is somebody that really does react in large parts to what other fighters are doing, but still he's somebody that will absolutely stay in front of you and take the lead and still press on you.
What Crawford saw on those tapes is bad news for anyone expecting a slow decision fight. It was not only speed. Crawford allegedly compared Teofimo's current form to a young Roy Jones, a comparison rarely made in boxing. That suggests elite athleticism, sharp reflexes, and explosive movement you cannot prepare for. The footage shows Teofimo moving smoothly side to side like he did against Lomachenko, but now with more muscle. He slips punches by inches and fires back with fast combinations before sparring partners can react. Crawford quickly saw the danger. Teofimo is not hunting one knockout punch. He is built to push hard for all 12 rounds, chasing Shakur non-stop without slowing down. That type of pressure is something Shakur has likely never faced before.
No, I don't think none of these dudes is on my level when I'm at my best, so he got a lot to deal with come January 31st.
So without giving up too much, when you look at him as a professional and you see what he's done, the fights he's fought, his style, what is it about him that you are going to exploit?
I think he the truth. He do a lot of things well. I think he flashy. I think it's just some basic stuff. Where I feel like he make mistakes. I think I'm gonna capitalize off those mistakes.
What is it about you that has you, looking at a fighter that is the truth and then saying, I want to fight him? It seems like it should be normal if you're a fighter, right? But that stuff is dying off in the game right now. And I feel like you one of the last of the dying breed that actually want real challenges.
Yeah, I'm competitive, bro. So it's like, I want to be the best. So when I see certain guys out there, and I seen Teo his last fight, I was there front row, and I'm like, damn, this dude is like, he like a baby Roy, like he like doing things with his hands down, flashy. So I thought it was cool, so it kind of made me want to get in a ring with him and see if he could do them things against my style.
Because of this, the mood in Shakur's camp has reportedly changed from confidence to extreme seriousness. Crawford is no longer just there for encouragement. He has taken control. Sources say Bud is personally choosing sparring partners who copy Teofimo's wild and explosive style. These fighters hit hard and do not fear Shakur's power, forcing him to fight while backing up under constant pressure.
So depending on how Shakur walks around, what he does on his regular basis as far as conditioning, weightlifting, what he does dieting wise, it all can play a factor. So for me, because of how he is and who he's surrounded by, I'm going to say that I feel as though Shakur is actually going to be a lot stronger than what he was in other weight classes.
Do you think that will be able to translate into stronger punches? Because I know people always criticize.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Shakur can punch. I just think that he's not really much of a combination type of guy. One punch, two punch combination, three punch combination, get out of there. You know, where Teo's gonna do he can punch from weird angles. Teo can punch from like very, very strange angles, and he also too has the IQ, but it's like he's more of an explosive side. So that's what I'm saying. It can hurt Shakur being the 5 pounds heavier, but it can also benefit him very, very well as well.
The preparation is not only physical. Rumors say Crawford and Shakur have watched the Teofimo versus Lomachenko fight at least 50 times. They break down every movement, every fake, and every habit. Crawford is obsessed with finding a weakness because he knows this version of Teofimo is different. This is no longer simple mentorship. It has become a mission to make sure Shakur survives what is coming on January 31st.
I think Teo is offensively explosive, and he definitely has the athleticism edge over Shakur. Now, I think Shakur's defense is high caliber, and his IQ is also high caliber. So it's a really good matchup because it's kind of like Teo brings, he can either, depending how he fights Shakur, he can either make it a tough night or he can make it an easy night for Shakur.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing goes for Shakur. Shakur can try to stay on the ropes the whole time, or he can utilize his legs and box circles around Teo. We don't know. But definitely with the athleticism edge, I'm going to give it slightly over to Teo. But, you know, not saying that Teo doesn't have a good IQ. I just think Shakur's IQ is very, like, I know people know that he's a smart fighter, right? But I think that when we talk about fighters throughout these eras, he's not really mentioned in these things because of the opposition who he has faced. But he does have some great IQ, and from a coach's standpoint, I get to see how he does certain things, why he does certain things. And I'm like, that's smart, you know, and he capitalizes. He got good range control. So it's going to be interesting for sure.
The biggest question is Teofimo's mindset. Everyone knows he has had moments where his focus slipped or his confidence went too far. But Crawford reportedly told the team those issues are gone. The fighter he saw on tape is locked in. This is the Teofimo who shocked the world against Lomachenko, not the one who struggled in later fights. Crawford allegedly warned that Teofimo is training like everything is on the line. There is hunger in him, driven by feeling disrespected by odds makers and critics. When a fighter with Teofimo's natural talent carries that chip, he becomes the most dangerous man in the division. Crawford knows this version of Teofimo does not just want to win. He wants to hurt Shakur to prove something, and that makes him unpredictable and deadly.
Appreciate Bud a lot because I grew in the ring with Bud over the years. I remember my first time sparring him, he played with me. That was my first time being in the ring with somebody, and they had their way with me, and they did whatever they want. And then over the years, I just kept coming back. And every time I see him, like, yo, we sparring, like every time. That's why you'll see so many pictures and videos of me and Bud in the ring, because it's like, I just wanted to keep pushing myself with a guy that I know is the truth. And as we got older, my level has gotten a lot better from being in the ring with Bud.
There is also a darker theory floating around boxing circles. Some wonder if Crawford is this involved because he is secretly studying Teofimo for himself. Teofimo has made his plan clear. Beat Shakur, then move up to fight Crawford. He has even said if Crawford could jump weight classes for Canelo, then he can do the same for Bud.
Terence Crawford's crazy in a really good way and very honest. And I think I'm going to say a prayer sometime today that Terence Crawford gets a fight with Teofimo Lopez, because I would pay $200, at least $200 for a pay-per-view between the two of them. To see Terence Crawford whoop the tar out of him. Because, man, what Terence Crawford told Teofimo Lopez about, man, you don't know, because you're a boxer, like that some people don't really want to play. And you out here being playful, and I'm not a playful person. Man, that is so true. That is so real.
By training Shakur, Crawford gets a front row view of how Teofimo handles speed, pressure, and technique. He watches Teofimo's adjustments without taking any damage himself. It is a smart move, using Shakur as a test to see if Teofimo is truly on his level. If Shakur loses badly, Crawford learns what to avoid. If Shakur wins, Crawford knows Teofimo was never a real threat. It is high-level strategy, and Crawford is playing it perfectly.
This story, I said it before, but I'm going to say it again. I was in the gym. I want to say I was getting ready for Chris Diaz or something, and he was sparring like a heavyweight fighter. I'm looking, I'm type nervous for him. I'm like, why is he in the ring with this big old dude? And, man, I swear he done caught this dude on the chin. Boom! Dude, wobbling all around the ring. I'm like, what the f***? How is this dude this strong? But it's like, honestly, Bud is very strong. A lot of people don't realize how strong he is as a fighter. And his punching power could carry through the weight classes.
So is Terence Crawford actually scared? The signs suggest that while he shows confidence in public, his actions behind the scenes reveal real concern. He has seen the footage. He has seen the speed. He knows Teofimo Lopez has changed into something dangerous for this fight. On January 31st, we will see if Crawford's worry was a warning or simply smart preparation. One thing is clear. The Teofimo Lopez walking into Madison Square Garden is not the one Shakur expected. This is no longer just a boxing match. It is a crash waiting to happen, and Crawford is doing everything he can to prevent it. Will it be enough? What do you think about Teofimo's preparation for the biggest fight of his career? Do you believe he can break through Shakur's defense on fight night? Share your thoughts in the comments. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and join the conversation below.